sure they will be formulating a plan for what it might look like once they get the keys to the front door. Rafa Benitez, would he be a person of interest? Well, he's certainly a big name. But you look at the sort of model that has been put in place by 49ers Enterprises at Leeds, and it is very data-driven, modern, contemporary. Does Rafa Benitez fit into that? Will they have a list of managers that tick more boxes in terms of how they see the game being played? I'd be surprised. And by the way, you mentioned that the cost would be exorbitant. The numbers involved in getting Rafa Benitez would be very, very hefty. And what did I say to you last night? I don't believe this is a scatter cash approach. They've got plenty of cash, but I don't believe they're going to be throwing it about, in a carefree, reckless manner. That's not what this whole thing is about. This is serious people with a serious plan. They will spend money. They're not afraid to spend money, but they'll spend it more strategically, and they'll spend it in a way that they think they'll get a return out of it. I'm not sure that Rafa Benitez would come into that category, although who knows? The other thing is that I would say about it is, where's it coming from? Because it's not coming from the Americans. You had a Leeds fan on the other night, and I think he's absolutely correct. I think these are going to be a tough nut to crack in terms of, they obviously run a very tight ship in terms of keeping things quiet. It's been months in the going and the making, this takeover, and it was only a couple of weeks ago that I wrote a story. So that means it's been kept quiet. So I find it difficult to compute then that some guy over in America is going, let's go for Rafa and let's get the word out there.
Aye.
And if the agent's saying there's been no contact, then it can only come from the American end. And I find that highly unlikely. So for all those reasons, I'll remain cynical on it.
The other thing I think's worth saying, you touched on it there, Keith, that, look, I'm not being ageist here or whatever. Rafa Benitez 65 next month, and his last few jobs haven't been great. I mean, Ricardo here says, look what happened to Everton when he was there. That was a disaster. Real Madrid was a disaster. He left Celta Vigo almost a year ago to the day, his last job, just outside the relegation zone. Even if they could get Rafa Benitez, I'm not sure it would be the wisest of moves.
I'm not sure it feels like a fit.
Aye.
The right fit. I'm not sure that it does. I mean, it could well be that perhaps, as Burnsy said, they want to come in, they want to make a statement, announcement or appointment, and they want to bring in some titan, some guy that has got a track record of success now. I happen to agree. I think that Rafa Benitez has gone past his peak. And I don't know if that's the sort, even with his name, his reputation, and his CV, I'm not sure that's going to be the kind of guy that the Americans would be looking for. As I said, I think they'll have very much their own ideas on it. I don't think they're going to be browbeaten into, just going, here's a big name and here's loads of money. I just don't think that's the way it's going to work.
No, I agree. I think it's a weird one. I've put it up there, but AGSC says Benitez a washed-up has-been. Hope Rangers bring him in. Oh man, I mean that is pretty harsh. But this one for me as well. Hollywood hire from Rangers. They got Rafa, but they'll go down the data route for a boss instead. And William Sloan simply says, correction, he was a big name. So I guess time will tell with that one, but it does seem. I think you summed it up nicely, Keith. You said it doesn't feel like a good fit.